Some appointments you just don't miss. They are etched into the calendar of the cosmos itself, and we are merely the ones lucky enough to be there when the time comes. We are talking about the return of a traveler that has faithfully kept its schedule with Earth for millennia, a celestial celebrity known to virtually every civilization that has ever looked toward the heavens. It is, of course, Halley's Comet, arguably the most famous comet in history. For most of us, it's a name from a history book or a faint memory from 1986. But in the summer of 2061, it will be something more. It will be a spectacle. The story of this comet isn't just about its next visit. It's about all its previous ones. It's a ghost that has haunted the skies of emperors, artists, and scientists, each time reflecting back at us the fears and dreams of our own era. Now it's our turn to meet it. So today, let's explore the incredible history of this cosmic wanderer and understand why its next appearance will be the performance of a lifetime. Halley's Comet is more than just a ball of ice and dust. It's a recurring character in the grand story of humanity. Its appearances are like bookmarks we've placed in the same cosmic novel, each one marking a chapter in our own evolution. Every 76 years or so, it arrives, and each time, the world that greets it is a little older, a little different. Today, we'll unspool 22 centuries of sightings, stopping at some of the most dramatic moments. We'll see it through the eyes of Chinese astronomers in 240 BCE, witness it terrifying a king on the Bayeux Tapestry, feel the bizarre panic it caused in 1910, and then fly alongside it with the space probes of 1986. Finally, we'll dive into the science that tells us why its encore in July 2061 will be the brightest and most spectacular showing any of us will ever have the chance to see. The first time we know for sure that we wrote it down was in 240 BCE. Chinese astronomers at the imperial court, whose job was to watch the sky for messages from the heavens, noted a broom star that swept into view. To them, it was a powerful omen, a celestial event demanding interpretation for the emperor. Fast forward to 1066, and the comet appeared over England. It was seen not as a scientific curiosity, but as a terrifying omen of doom for the Anglo-Saxon king, Harold II, an event immortalized in the famous Bayeux Tapestry. The tapestry shows people pointing in fear at the star with its fiery tail, a divine premonition of the bloody Battle of Hastings and the Norman conquest to come. For William the Conqueror, however, it was a sign of his impending victory. Then, in 1222, Genghis Khan gazed upon the same apparition. He interpreted its long, flowing tail not as a threat, but as a personal green light from the cosmos, inspiring him to launch his invasion of Europe. One comet, seen by different cultures, yielding entirely different futures. For centuries, this was the comet's role, a silent, unknowable force, a celestial inkblot onto which humanity projected its greatest hopes and fears. For most of human history, the heavens were a realm of gods and omens. But the scientific revolution began to change that, and in 1705, one man turned this celestial ghost into a predictable visitor. Edmund Halley, a brilliant English astronomer and a contemporary of Isaac Newton, began to suspect that comets weren't just one-time visitors. He meticulously cataloged the appearances of bright comets from 1531, 1607, and 1682. Applying Newton's brand new laws of motion and gravity, he noticed a stunning pattern. The orbits were nearly identical. He made a daring intellectual leap. These weren't three different comets, but the same comet, returning every 76 years. He then made one of the boldest predictions in the history of science. He declared that the comet would return on Christmas night of 1758. Halley died in 1742 and never got to see if he was right. But on schedule, on Christmas Day 1758, a German farmer and amateur astronomer named Johann Georg Palitsch spotted it right where Halley said it would be. In that moment, humanity's relationship with the cosmos was forever changed. The sky was no longer just a canvas for myths. It was a clockwork universe, understandable and predictable. The omen was given a name, Halley's Comet. By 1910, mass communication had taken hold, and when scientists announced that Earth would pass through Halley's Comet's tail, panic ensued. Headlines warned of poisonous cyanogen gas, leading people to seal their homes and buy anti-comet pills and bottled oxygen. Mark Twain, born as the comet appeared in 1835, famously predicted he would die with it, and he did on April 21, 1910, just as the comet returned. Fortunately, when the tail passed by on May 20th, the gas was so diffuse that nothing happened. The world was left slightly embarrassed but alive. The 1986 apparition was the worst in 2,000 years, as Earth and the comet were on opposite sides of the sun, dimmed further by light pollution. However, this time, humanity sent a fleet of spacecraft, the Halley Armada, to meet the comet. Notably, the European probe Giotto flew within 596 kilometers of the comet's nucleus on March 13, 1986, sending back remarkable images of a dark, peanut-shaped body. The findings revealed a dirty snowball, much larger than expected, shedding dust with every orbit, transforming our understanding of the comet from a mere omen to a tangible 4.5 billion-year-old traveler. Here's why 2061 will be the main event. In December 2023, Halley's Comet reached aphelion, its farthest point from the Sun, and began its long 38-year journey back toward us. The 2061 return will be a near-perfect mirror image of the disappointing 1986 apparition. This time, the comet will be on the same side of the Sun as Earth, putting on a spectacular show. On June 19, 2061, it will pass just 71 million kilometers from Earth, much closer than in 1986. Then, on July 28th, it will reach perihelion, its closest point to the Sun, and achieve maximum brightness. Because of this ideal alignment, the comet will blaze in our skies at an apparent magnitude of -0.3. That is more than 10 times brighter than it was in 1986, and brighter than nearly every star in the sky. For weeks, it will be visible hanging in the dark, pre-dawn sky for the Northern Hemisphere, before pivoting to become a magnificent evening object for the Southern Hemisphere. Its glowing coma will flare under the intense solar heat, and its tail could stretch for tens of degrees across the sky, a celestial brushstroke visible even from the heart of our brightest cities. So what exactly is this thing? It's often called a dirty snowball, but it's more like a snowy dirt ball. Picture a lumpy, porous rock made of dust, gravel, and various ices, like water, carbon monoxide, and methane. Formed 4.5 billion years ago in the outer solar system, it spends most of its 76-year orbit frozen far from the Sun. As it approaches the Sun, frozen gases sublimate, creating powerful jets that drag dust into space, forming a glowing coma that can be wider than a planet. The solar wind pushes this material into a tail that always points away from the Sun. Here are some key milestones for its journey to 2061. December 2058. Gravitational nudge from Saturn. June 2060. Significant tweak from Jupiter's gravity. May 2061. First sightings by Mars-based cameras or telescopes. June 19, 2061. Closest approach to Earth, a prime viewing opportunity. July 28th to 29th, 2061. Perihelion, closest to the Sun. Peak brilliance. September 2061. Halley fades as it returns to the outer solar system, not to be seen again until 2134. If you're already clearing your schedule for the summer of 2061 and want to stay updated on this and other incredible stories the cosmos has to tell, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. Every new story is another reason to keep looking up. To understand the scale of Halley's Comet's journey, find a coin from 1986, the year Halley last visited. Since that coin was made, it and you have orbited the Sun many times. In the same time, Halley's Comet has made just one trip, traveling about 8 billion kilometers out past Neptune and back. In 2061, that coin will be 75 years old, while the comet will continue to journey through space for many more years. You, that old coin, and that comet are all on the same cosmic currents, but on different timelines. Each time Halley's comet passes by the sun, it loses a lot of mass, around 1/1000th of its total size each time. This is a slow process. The comet is slowly dying. Some estimates say that in about 10,000 years it will have lost so much ice that it won't create the bright tail we see now. The show will end. This gives us a special perspective on our time. We understand what the comet is, and we get to see what might be its brightest display for many years. Mark your calendar for late July 2061. In the early morning sky, Halley's comet will shine at a brightness of about -0.3. Bring coffee, your children, and grandparents who might remember seeing it as a faint blur in 1986. For that short time, we will all see the same sky, joining a long line of people who have gazed up in wonder. From Babylonian priests to Chinese astronomers, William the Conqueror, Edmund Halley, and Mark Twain. We are part of a continuous history of people admiring this comet. The comet doesn't care about our stories or science, but we will call it beautiful.